Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk less chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing. Cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast and we poppin', let's go.
Yo, Dave. Yo, hey, Dave, my man Cuddy Cutright came through with the heat.
Let me tell you something.
With the bars, okay? With the bars.
Just for the record, Rashad wanted to play it to me prior to us going live, and I said, nah, I want to be surprised. I need to hear this shit live, man. I can't. If you would have saw me in the background bopping my head, I was in, man.
Yo, fire. Shout out to Cuddy Cutright. You know, Cuddy has done a lot for the Carolina Panthers. He's done some intro or some hype videos, and I hit him up. I was like, "Yo, fam, I need some of that heat." And that man definitely came through and dropped some bars, fam. Shit was dope. So shout out to Cuddy Cutright, man. That joint is tough. I might run it back a little bit later in the show. Make sure y'all listen, man. I hope you catch the entendres and the nuances and the ties to the show. Are y'all feeling the vibe? Like, are y'all feeling that joint? That joint was tough. That joint was tough, man. Shout out to Dave Rashad, man. The hype video is more exciting than the 2021 season. Yo, come on, man.
He lying.
Nah, definitely ain't. He definitely ain't lying. There you go. Somebody called it. You gotta listen, Joe. That joint went hard, man. Shout out to Cuddy Cutright again for lacing your boys up with the track. But Dave, so we'll talk about the games in a little bit. So hold on to your thoughts about the games. Other than that, how was your weekend, man?
Weekend was good, man. It was just a regular weekend. I made an executive decision over the weekend too, man. I'm going to make an appearance to Greensboro next month.
Okay.
I'm going to make an appearance to Greensboro. So A&T is doing the grand opening of their new engineering building. So I'm gonna show up for that. So it's gonna be dope. I can't wait. Nice. I already bought my flight. I'm getting down there. Duran and company don't know I'm coming, but I got a couple weeks to figure that out. So it's gonna be dope. It was pretty much, all I did was game and watch the games. That's all I did this weekend, man.
Yeah, I ain't do nothing either, bro. I ain't do nothing. I was chilling. Just relaxing, chilling, went to the gym. That's about it, man. Just another cool weekend off season, put out a bunch of videos for y'all. That's pretty much all I was doing. Straight signer walks and then the quarterback videos is pretty much my whole freaking weekend. So but yeah, man. So Dave, you ready to get into this content real quick, man? Low key, y'all. It's a lot to talk about, man. It's a lot to talk about. We'll get into this. We'll get into it. Let me set this up real quick. Let me stop this because I need to make sure my audio is straight. 1 second. My bad, y'all. One of my monitors went down because the power went out here. Somebody hit a pole up the street. So every time the power go out, one of my monitors goes out. It comes back eventually, but I'm a little discombobulated. All right, so here we go. So Dave, these games, bro, this weekend, straight fire, dog. The straight fire across the board, man. Let's start off with the top. The Titans and Bengals game. I mean, what you think about that joint, man? That joint was tough. King Henry came back, but it wasn't enough for the Titans.
Nah, I mean, I had the Bengals winning, man, because I felt like Joe Burrow was a franchise quarterback and Ryan Tannehill's not. And I thought that Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon would be too much for the Titans. I know everybody was trying to hype up Derrick Henry coming back, but Derrick Henry hasn't been there in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Julio Jones hasn't really been healthy for most of the season. So, like, I never was a big fan of the Julio trade as it is. And I just thought I always root for teams that hasn't been there in a while. And you talking about a team that didn't win a playoff game in 31 years. And
never won a road game either.
Never won a road game.
Never won a road game in history, bro. That was their first one, which is nuts. That is nuts, fam. That is insane.
And look, man. Everybody always talk about there's always the same set of teams that make it, but then there's some teams that they just got to get over the hump. And I'm happy for Cincinnati. I'm happy for their fan base, bro, because they waited a long ass time. 1988 is the last time they've been in an AFC Championship. I was 5 years old.
Shit, fam, and it was. They had that game. Yo, it was all Tennessee. Tennessee had it, bro. They was just driving down the field, and Tannehill throws that tip ball, bro, and it was a wrap. He threw 3 picks on that, man. Listen, Tannehill is Tannehill, bro. Like, again, there's multiple ways to build out a team. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but you look at how the Bengals have built their team versus how the Rams have built their team. Complete polar opposites, bro. And it'll be interesting to see, hopefully, those. I want to see the Bengals, Rams, personally. I want to see Bengals, Rams in the Super Bowl. I don't know why, but I just want. I like to see the different clash of team building. Right? LA has no draft picks. They never use the draft, right? But then they go out and just get free agents. They acquire these free agents that want to come to LA. And then the Bengals, they built the right way. They built, not to say the right way, but they built through the draft, and they got the young quarterback. They got the young wide receivers, the superstar wide receiver. And it's just interesting the clash, the different styles, the way they built their teams. I would love to see that in the Super Bowl. But yeah, man, the great game for the Bengals, man. I'm happy for them too. I'm rooting for the Bengals to go all the way. I'm a Bengals fan right now. The Queen City, the Cats. They're Bengals, so I'm rolling with them. I'm rolling with the Bengals, dog. Put on the orange and black for them boys. I'm rolling with the Bengals all the way.
I ain't ready to go that far. I'm just happy to see them go to the AFC. I happen to go and see them go to the AFC Championship game. When we talk about predictions, I could give you my opinions on what I think the NFL wants versus what they could probably get and what they don't want.
Well, before you do that, let's get to the rest of these games.
That's what I'm saying. We'll get to the rest of the games first.
The Bills Chiefs game, bro. That game was nuts. That game was utterly insane, bro. And I know there's a lot of people are talking about the change in the overtime rules, but fam, 13 seconds, bro, and you let Mahomes drive down that field, fam. Like, come on now. Somebody got to take some responsibility for that.
No. I was joking yesterday that Leslie Frazier just lost a bunch of job interviews the way where that defense kind of choked near the end. But I think in the grand scheme of things, and this is just my opinion on it, the coin flips decided that game, bro. If Josh Allen would have won that game, the Chiefs weren't going to stop him. Like, that's just the reality of the fact. The Chiefs weren't going to stop him either. So in my eyes, I felt like each team should have gotten a possession. You know what I'm saying? But I've always felt that way. And ironically enough, I learned that the Chiefs tried to change the rules in 2019, nobody tried to push it. So it stood the way it is.
Yep, they wanted to change the rules. To go about the rules. Yep,
they tried to change the rules so every team would get a possession in overtime. But it is what it is, man. But I will say, probably the best playoff game I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah, no, that's a great game. All these games were good, man.
They were. This is the best playoff round I've ever seen.
For sure. I second that easily, man. Easily the best. Like, all these games were competitive. We'll go ahead and move on to go ahead.
One more thing. So, like, for me, I only jump out of my seat in Panthers games. It's rare that I jump out of my seat over a game. I fucking jumped over my seat at least 3 times in the final 2 minutes of this game. It's insane, bro.
That's
funny. And my wife thought I was crazy, but I was just freaking amazed at how this shit was going. It was like they were playing.
Anyway, Dave.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was like they were playing Madden the final 2 minutes, man. Folks were scoring
It was
touchdowns in
nuts.
seconds.
It was nuts, man. Nuts. That game was nuts. But all right, man. Anyway, let's move on to Green Bay and San Francisco, man. San Francisco pulled that joint out. That was crazy too. Shout out to San Francisco, man. A lot of people was sleeping on San Francisco. And now, you know, nah, not me. I picked San Francisco, dog.
Oh, you picked San Fran? Okay.
Francisco. Yeah. The only game I didn't pick was I picked the Bills to beat the Chiefs. That's the only one I missed.
No,
I picked San Francisco.
I got the Bills was wrong, and I picked the Rams. I picked the Bucks on the other one.
When I was on ESPN Upstate, I picked the San Francisco 49ers to beat the Green Bay Packers. So I'm on record, bro, on ESPN with my picks.
Good for you.
So I'm just shameless plug.
I know you are. I knew you picked the Rams to beat the Bucks. I knew that.
I definitely picked the Rams to beat the Bucks 100%. Speaking of that, man, that game was crazy too, man. I'm sitting here watching this game. The Rams are up huge. I almost blew a 27-3 lead. A 20-3 lead. One of the
27-3.
27-3, bro. And they let Tom come back, fam. They had Tom Brady looking real pedestrian out here in these streets. They was all in his grill, but they had Tom Brady out here looking like average. He was looking real average in these streets, bro. Aaron Donald was going nuts. Von Miller was going nuts. And yo, all they're doing is bringing forward. Yo, it's so amazing what you can do, Dave, when you bring 4 guys in the pass rush and they can get pressure without blitzing, bro. It's amazing what you can do, dog.
We used to have that.
Used to, long time ago. We used to have that. But it's amazing what you can do, dog. It's amazing what you can do defensively when you can just bring 4 and let that back end figure it out, and you can get pressure within seconds, bro. And it's, you know, I think the Bucks definitely missed Tristan Wirfs. Like, I think that was a huge loss for them.
Bro. I almost changed my pick minutes before kickoff because of that. But my Matt Stafford hate was too strong, so I kept it as is. And now I gotta.
Now you gotta cop these pleas.
No, I gotta walk it back.
You gotta cop these pleas, Dave.
I gotta walk.
Stafford was cooking that shit up. I was like, yo, the first half.
I gotta walk it back. I gotta walk it back. But that wasn't even the play. The play that did it was that, like, because at times, man, I would question Stafford's decision making in the past. But when he got that play off the Cooper Kupp, and I know the Bucks had no business letting a safety on Cooper Kupp, but the fact that he executed, I was like, all right, I gotta give it to him now. Like,
Kupp is a monster, man.
He was able to do it in pressure, and now you understand why he didn't want to come to Carolina.
1,000%, man. But yeah, Stafford was slinging that shit. I was like, pause. He was killing that joint. I was like, man, who is this dude? I mean, he looked so confident, bro. He was so confident out there. I mean, just getting the ball out quick. I was like, man, Matt Stafford might be all right. He's all right. He almost fumbled that joint away. I mean, it got tough down the stretch. But again, Cooper Kupp in the clutch came through and they were able to pull it out. But man, they almost let Tom Brady and them come back, bro.
That would have been wild too, bro. And then
crazy.
Then we will be having a different discussion about Stafford, even though it wasn't been Stafford's fault because everybody else was turning the ball over. But Cam Akers might be sitting permanently on the bench.
He's a beast, but he's a beast, but he agreed. I like Cam Akers as a Florida State fan. I can't slander Cam,
but my man can't fumble it twice, bro.
Nah, I know. Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's my guy though. Shout out to
I get it.
Yeah, man. So but yeah, man, these games were amazing. These games were amazing, and I really love what they did. All these games were great. I mean, you couldn't turn the channel, bro. You just sitting there watching all these games. There was no way you could click away from any of these games, where they were all that good, bro. So shout out to the NFL and putting on a good product, man. Getting these good teams out here. They're doing good job. Now, Dave. Now, do you want to predict these next 2 matchups? You want to go on record? You want to go on record with your picks? Who you got, Dave? Super Bowl. Who you got?
Chiefs and Rams, bro.
Chiefs and Rams.
I'm a believer now. And I'm worried too, because I know Kyle Shanahan's gotten McVay's number, bro. I think 6 straight San Fran's beaten the Rams, like 6 straight games or something like that. So
they got the same. They got a nice little run against 49ers. I mean, had a nice run against Green Bay too, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing about San Fran was, yeah, that's true. Aaron Rodgers has never beaten the 49ers in the playoffs. He
That's
lost to
crazy,
Colin
bro.
Kaepernick twice, and he lost to Jimmy Garoppolo twice.
That's crazy, dog. That is crazy.
It's a
And
fact.
that speaks to something, right? Because everybody's talking about, franchise quarterback, bro. I ain't gonna say the two best, but I mean, listen, if you talking about quarterback matchups, who's picking Jimmy Garoppolo and his squad over Aaron Rodgers and his squad? Who's picking Matt Stafford and his squad over, other than NFC South hate, right? Who's realistically picking that? Like, everybody talks about these franchise quarterbacks. I mean, it's a team effort. I keep saying that. Team effort, dog. It's a team effort,
bro.
dude.
Let me tell you something, bro. If I don't know how much you've looked at Jimmy Garoppolo's numbers in the playoffs, but bro, they if winning despite somebody was something, this is it, bro. My man didn't throw a touchdown pass. My man didn't throw a touchdown pass. They beat Green Bay without an offensive touchdown, bro. Like you can't make this shit up. You can't. Like, Garoppolo was terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Terrible. In both games.
And a lot of people are saying, "Yo, Jimmy G coming here like to the Panthers," and nah, we don't want none of that. We don't want none of that. We already done.
Y'all want 2-15. Y'all can have Jimmy G here, dude. Jimmy G looked worse than Darnold. I'm being real.
But he got Shanahan out here though. Shanahan in these streets, good defense.
He got Shanahan, got that good ass
Debo.
defense, that good ass special teams, a good run game. He got everything else to hide the fact that he throws interceptions when he tries to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Dilfer wasn't as bad, bro. Dilfer wasn't as bad. Like, people, no, don't do that. Do not slander Trent Dilfer like that. He was not this bad.
So let me go ahead and get my picks, man. F it, Dave. I'm all in. I'm rolling with the Bengals, dog. Bengals.
I know you are.
And Rams. That's the Super Bowl I want to see. I like to see those two squads go at it, man. And man, if the Bengals were able to pull out a Super Bowl victory, fam, boy, that'd be crazy. That would be crazy. Given where they came from just a couple years ago, they were like 2-14. Joe Burrow gets hurt. It's they terrible, bro. And they just flipped it around. He gets healthy. Man, so it's a great. They started 2-14. They won a couple more games in Joe Burrow's rookie season, and then now they're in the AFC Championship. So it's crazy, man. Shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals and Zach Taylor. Go ahead.
So the Chiefs and Rams is the Super Bowl that the NFL wants badly. Like, if you pick any combo, that's the one they want. And I think they'll be cool with Kansas City, San Fran, but I don't know if they want Cincinnati and San Fran. I don't think that's the business. I think Bengals Rams work too, but I think Bengals San Fran would be a mess. Like, I don't think 2 weeks of Jimmy Garoppolo talk is the move. Like, there's no storyline behind that. It'll be all on Burrow, bro. It'll just be all about Burrow.
Yeah.
But at least if you get Chiefs Rams, you could say Mahomes versus Stafford. Rams got all these all-stars on the team. You know what I'm saying? The Chiefs are the Chiefs. So you're going to have some dope storylines with that. And the Rams are playing at their home at SoFi.
Yep. That's a good story. That's a dope storyline.
With the G-Funk halftime show.
Didn't Tampa win last year at the
they did
at their stadium?
First time a team's ever done it.
Yeah, they might be on a roll here. Could be on a roll with this. I mean, we gotta get a Super
Bowl in Charlotte.
For sure. So we can go ahead and add to that. But all right, let's move on, Dave. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a second, because Aaron Rodgers, is he done? I think he's done with the Packers, right? Is that what the move is? I know the Packers are like so many $1 million over the cap, and they got to figure
almost
something out.
$50 million over.
Yeah, $50 million over. We seen the Saints recover from $70 million over, so it can be manipulated out of it. But
bro, the Saints' best player wasn't a free agent either. Devontae Adams is a free agent.
It's true. They can work their way out of it, bro. They can work their way.
I'm not down. They can't work their way out of it. I just think it's gonna cost something. I mean, because Devontae probably ain't gonna want to resign there if there's no quarterback. So he's probably gonna go out on the ball unless they tag him. It's gonna cost a lot of money to tag him at that position.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is trying to leave, and he's trying to take Devontae with him. I don't think Devontae has no interest in playing without Aaron Rodgers, bro.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, and I'll keep it a buck. I think Aaron needs to just hang it up because unless he's gonna stay in the NFC, he ain't winning no Super Bowl in the AFC, bro. There's too many quarterbacks over there, bro. There's too many quarterbacks. Like you got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Burrow, you got Herbert. There's too many quarterbacks over there, bro. Lamar, there's too many quarterbacks over there. He don't want them problems. If he's gonna get traded, he's got to stay in the conference. And I don't think the Packers want to move him, keep him in the conference. He ain't win the Super Bowl going at some of the options that he's got over in the AFC.
Yeah, I think they need to go ahead and damn go ahead and kill this relationship though, because it's been on the ropes for like a long time. He's been trying to get out of Green Bay for what seems like for at least 2 or 3 years. And they do have if I'm looking at this contract right now, they do have an out to get out of his contract. But that cap hit is something serious, dog. $46 million cap hit, dog.
For who? Him?
Yeah, for him. Next season, 2022, $46 million cap hit.
Unless they release him.
If they release him, the dead cap would be $26 million.
They're gonna release him then.
So they could release or trade whatever. It'll be $26 million. But that's about half of their cap right there, though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's why I think they'll get out of it. I don't have a problem with them getting out of that $50 million holder, and they'll survive. They'll be all right. But yeah, just keep an eye on that situation, man. It's interesting. Interested to see Aaron Rodgers potentially leave Green Bay and go somewhere else. And no, he's not coming here. So everybody just chill out. Don't even say it.
He said he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. So that's all you need to hear.
I don't even want to talk about that, but it is what it is. So Dave is another quarterback that's contemplating retirement, Dave. So word on the street, Dave, is that Tom Brady might hang it up. He might hang it up. He said he feels like he's ready to go. But I was listening to the Ian Rappaport video, and he said that, it's not about what he thinks and how he feels. It's about what his family feels. His wife wants him home. His kid wants him home. So if that's the case, he's thinking about hanging it up, bro.
He done. That's it.
I think it might be it.
I think it might be it.
Usually he's like, I'm ready to go. Like he say I'm coming back. He's pretty adamant about it. This is the first time I've really heard him kind of be on the fence about retirement. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't really follow Tom like that, but
this was the most non-committal about coming back he has been since he
right
the past couple of years. So I think this might be it, bro. And the thing is, and there's no shame in that. I mean, he had a great career. You can't take his rings away from him. The Bucs are fucked, but that ain't my problem.
Not really. They got a lot of guys to re-sign and not a whole lot of cap. But I will say this: last year they had a lot of guys to re-sign and they figured it out.
No, but why they figured it out? You know why they figured it out?
Because Tom Brady was. They wanted to run it back. They wanted to run it back. Guys came back on cheaper deals. So yes, that's 1,000% true. 1,000% true.
Dog, so I wouldn't be shocked if Bruce Arians decides to hold out to retire, yo. Why risk his legacy on this? Because he ain't gonna have no quarterback.
He said to that
Blaine Gabbert, Blake Bortles, who's the backup quarterback?
And then they might be losing their offensive coordinator too. He got a second, Leftwich got a second interview with the Jaguars.
You know who they're not gonna lose? They're not gonna lose Todd Bowles. They're not gonna lose Todd Bowles.
They're not gonna lose Todd.
They definitely are gonna lose Leftwich. That's a wrap.
So
if there's no way he doesn't get a head coaching job this cycle.
Yeah, man. I don't know, dog. I don't know what's going on with Brady. I hope he retires, man. I'm sick of seeing this dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm ready for him to go. He can't play forever, man. He need to hang that shit up. And
bro,
I mean, really, honestly, bro.
If this is true, woo, they better restructure before he retires.
I think they could work out a retirement settlement or something like that. They can, but he did restructure his deal before last year to free up some space. But they can work out if you recall, remember when Jordan Gross retired, he worked out a deal to cut his salary and whatnot, and just get off the books. So it can be done. They can get around that. But that's one team that has some issues. That's the Bucs, right? But Dave, what about the Saints, Dave? What about the Saints? It's word on the street. Sean Payton, he ain't committed either. It's no commitment. No commitment in 2022. That's the thing that's going on. Nobody's committed to shit right now.
I have a theory with this.
Talk about it.
He's going to sit out next season to wait until Dallas fires McCarthy, and he's going to go coach Dallas.
Well, Dave, the interesting thing with that is that he's under contract until 2024. That being said, he can't just bounce. Like he can't go to another team. Like he can't just be picked up by another team unless he's traded. We've seen
he could be
guys
traded.
Get traded. Coaches can be traded. It's happened several occasions. Hell, Bill Belichick was traded to the Patriots. So we've seen it on.
No, he wasn't.
Several times. Yeah, he was.
No, he He quit. He resigned.
No. But they got compensation. The Jets.
They got compensation because it was a what was it? It was a They said it was some tampering going on with that. That's why
they got compensation. They got a first round pick. In 2000, they got a fourth
Gruden got traded.
7th round pick. John Gruden got traded. Bill Parcells got traded. There's a couple more that got traded as well. So we've seen this in the past. That's the only way he's gonna get up out of there. I think Herm Edwards got traded, and Mike Holmgren also got traded. So it has happened before in the past. So coaches can get traded. If you're new, you never heard that shit before. It's been a minute. But it has happened before, and it can happen. Coaches can get traded. So what can we get for Rhule? Absolutely nothing. A damn bag of chips and maybe a cheer wine.
You have to pay for him for the other team.
But it has happened. It has happened in the past.
So what happens to his contract if he decides to sit down in 2020? Because that could have. It sounds like he wants to take a year off. So
I do not know. I do not know. But you know what happens when a player retires? When a player retires and they come back, they still have to be. The team still owns their rights. I don't know how it works with coaches. I'm assuming that it's the same. But if a player like Gronk, when Gronk retired, he came back. The Bucks had to give up some compensation to get that deal. He wasn't an unrestricted free agent. Like they still own the rights to Gronk. So that's how it works when players retire. I'm not sure if it's the same. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll take the chips." That is funny. That's funny. Yo, man. But yeah, man. So that's the deal with Sean Payton, bro. And listen, bro, the Panthers, they got so frustrating, bro, because he got a keen opportunity right here potentially to take over the division. Atlanta ain't that great given where they are. The Bucks without Tom Brady ain't shit. And Sean Payton, the Saints without Sean Payton, please come on now. They're struggling right now as it is.
We're gonna be somebody in the NFC South gonna be like 6-11. They're gonna make the playoffs by winning the division.
I know, man, but we got it's ripe for the taking, bro. Like if everything worked out, bro, and Matt Rhule was somewhat decent and showed some promise, fam, we will own the division for the next 3 years, bro. Easily, man. But it's so frustrating, dog, because it's not gonna get any better than this.
And you heard about Calvin Ridley, right? We didn't talk about Calvin Ridley.
No, what happened with Calvin Ridley? I don't know.
So I guess at the end of the season, they were saying that the Atlanta regime pretty much said, yeah, we don't think Calvin Ridley is going to be part of the Atlanta Falcons this upcoming season. So it looks like they're going to trade him. Now, granted, they did give him his 5th-year option, so that's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be able to do that. But it looks like he's not going to play for Atlanta, or he has no interest in playing with Atlanta. He wants out. I'm going to be honest about that situation, man. I hope. I know he sat out from football due to mental health, but the optics look bad if he's like already trying to push himself out. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't.
Explain.
Like
I don't understand where you're going.
Like, so he sat out a few games prior to him announcing that he was no longer going to, he was going to take the rest of the season off, and it was due to his mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody respected that, because that's very important. But then when the season ends, it just sounds like he just wants out of Atlanta, period. Right. So the optics look bad. That's all. I'm not trying to doubt that he wasn't having issues with mental health. It's just the optics just look
I understood where you were going. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page because I didn't want to assume.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying. It does look bad if you're just you now appear that you wanted just to get out of Atlanta and it had nothing to do with mental health.
Yeah, I mean, kind of just like what's going on with Ben Simmons in the NBA, right? But Ben Simmons could be going through some things. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the optics look rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that Calvin got the proper help that he needs, and then we'll see how it goes because that's going to be a tough spot for any team that's willing to give Calvin a chance. So.
Yep. All right. So any final thoughts on Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, the Saints, kind of what's going on, bro? I just my final thought is that it is frustrating as a Carolina Panther fan, given the roster that we had and have and will continue to have where we are. This division is ripe for the taking, bro. If everything goes to plan and Sean Payton leaves and Tom Brady retires, even in the next couple of years, bro, fam, we would be in the perfect position to take the division, fam.
Well, the thing that makes it interesting for me is this. I think Tom Brady's going to retire, and I think Aaron Rodgers is probably going to retire too. I don't think Aaron's going to come back and play another year. With that in mind, the conference is for the taking, and we sitting here hustling backwards. I mean, other than the Rams, right? But they ain't really too many great quarterbacks sitting in that conference right now if those two guys retire. Like you got Stafford, you got Russ if they come back with Seattle, and then it's pretty much, a bunch of young guys.
That's a good point. I mean, I didn't even think about that. You got Dak in there. You got hurt.
But you know what I'm saying? No, like somebody that's gonna be there, right? Like Stafford is creating his way right now with the Rams, right?
Right.
But like all these other cats, Dallas always finds a way to be one and done in the playoffs. You got Washington, they ain't got no quarterback. Philadelphia is still trying to figure out if they got one. You know what I'm saying? The Giants got freaking Daniel Jones. NFC North got a bunch of young guys in the streets.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Jordan Love. Kirk Cousins is the best of the bunch out of there.
You still got to deal with Kyler,
Jared Goff. Like, are we talking about?
You got to deal with Kyler, though. You got to deal with Kyler.
You got to deal with Kyler. But dog, people forget about Arizona going into this season that Kingsbury was on a hot seat. Like, people forget what was going on prior to the season. If they didn't start undefeated the way that they did, they were talking about firing Kingsbury. And then on top of that, he freaking collapsed at the end of the year.
Yeah, but Dave, that's a great point you bring up about the NFC as a whole. I'm pigeonholed into the NFC South thinking, and you're absolutely right. There are no from a quarterback perspective only, like there is nobody like it's like maybe one or two. Like you got Dak, like you said, Dak, Kyler, Russ if he stays. Outside of that, man, it ain't really nobody.
And Stafford.
That's
it.
That's it.
Matt
Cousins
Ryan, but he's almost 40.
Ryan's
almost 40.
Cousins is probably gonna be out of here. You got Justin Fields, but that's all new coach. You don't know where that's gonna go. But you're absolutely right, Dave. Man, that's not looking. You're right. You're absolutely right. NFC might be wide open. And again, with the Rams though, they're gonna have to piece that together every year. Like they're going to have to figure it out every year. Like they're going to have to redo some things, and every year they're going to have to subtract and add some guys just because of the way their system is going. They're not rebuilding through the draft. They're not going to be able to. They might be able. I mean, they will be able to keep everybody together. Everybody will kind of move their contracts around to stay together. But it's going to be some shuffling that they're going to have to do to keep everything tight. So you're right. You're right, though.
It's just
all right.
The conference is so wide open, bro. And I'm just sitting here like, yo, we got Matt Rhule sitting here as our head coach. And I'm just like, and we got Sam Darnold potentially coming back as our quarterback. And I'm just sitting here looking like, even as bad as the quarterback situation is, we still got one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
Facts.
In that conference. Like that's just wild to me. And that's another reason why I don't think Aaron Rodgers I think he's gonna retire, because I don't think he's going to be wasting his time trying to get over to Denver or Pittsburgh or Miami. They're not going to be able to compete with the Chiefs or the Bills. They're not.
So real quick, Noli, shout out to Noli for the super chat. He says, "How about Las Vegas, please?" We will talk about this in a second. Hold that thought. And another super chat came through. Watch Aaron Rodgers go to the Bucks.
I don't see the Packers. I don't see the Packers allowing that trade to happen, bro.
Yeah.
The Packers got to trade him.
Trade does have to happen. Yes, he is under contract, so a trade will have to occur. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening.
Packers ain't trade. Let me tell you that right now. We're going to go ahead and keep that clear. Packers aren't going to be willing to trade him into anybody in the NFC. If they're going to send him to the AFC, he's going to pretty much fly. He's going to flounder over there because there ain't no. I mean, Denver. He won't be. He won't get out the division. He won't win the division. He gonna be the same division with Herbert and Mahomes, and possibly in Carr. No, not happening.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's move on real quick. I got a shout out to everybody. Follow us on at Panther Nation PC at Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, man. Shout out to all the Patreon members. If you want to become a Patreon, right now we have 73 active Patreon members, bro. Let's push that to 100. You can sign up at Patreon and support us for as low as $3 a month, man. We greatly appreciate that. It's super easy. Go to patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. Let's get up to 100 supporters. We got 3 different support levels, but you ain't got to join at the MVP level. You can join as a free agent and do what you got to do. So free agents, shout out to all the free agents, the whole crap ton of y'all. They support us for $3 a month. Winston, I think, was the new one at the time. He's kind of old now. Shout out to the franchise guys. Hey, listen, I want to give a special shout out to Felix, bro, because I checked my Patreon messages and he said, "Fam, you know what? I'm not on the damn shout out list." So my bad, Felix. He said he wanted everybody to know that he is a proud supporter of PNP. So my bad, Felix. I didn't have you on the list. That's my fault. And shout out to Brandon as well. He is also a new franchise supporter. So we appreciate that. And then shout out to the MVP players, man. Y'all are like day ones. Half of y'all is day one, folks. So we really appreciate y'all support, man. It goes a long way. Helps the channel out. It helps us get all of our PFF subscriptions and all this back end, StreamYard, all the stuff that we have to take care of on a monthly basis. It helps us out with that. So we greatly appreciate that. And shout out to Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre was a newer MVP member that I did not add to the list. Also, if you won something on this channel, if you want something like MVP giveaways, we do MVP giveaways every month. I finally got everything in the mail. I finally put everything in the mail. So Kyle, your Christian McCaffrey mini helmet is in the mail. And shout out to Jeanette, her Cam Newton signed mini helmet is in the mail. And shout out to Lewis, his signed K1 short 8x10 is in the mail. I'm on a roll, bro. And I apologize. I said this on Twitter. I wish I had a valid excuse as to why I didn't put those items in the mail. I didn't. Post office is right up the street. I could have did it. My bad. It was just lazy on my part. So everything's in the mail. Y'all should be getting your items pretty soon. Go ahead, Dave.
It's the same reason why I haven't given out the prizes to the Pick'em winner. And
you got to do it, Dave.
I'm going to get it done.
You got to get it. Hey, listen, bro. It be tough. It be slipping your mind. I look at stuff every day, man.
We'll get it. I'm going to get it done, but mine will be much easier. I ain't got to mail anything. I just got to figure out who actually won. Because I know one of the guys hit me up, but I got to get that confirmed. And once I confirm it, I'm going to send it over.
Shout out to Kyle, man. My bad for the delay, man. My fault. I don't have any valid excuse as to why I didn't get that stuff in the mail earlier. It's just laziness on my part. So my fault. All right. So Dave, you want to hit us with some Underdog Fantasy real quick?
Yeah, man. Yo, this weekend was insane for Underdog Fantasy. A couple things that you guys need to be aware of. They did another best ball tournament that started this weekend, which was pretty cool. You can also hop into a tournament. They still got the pick'ems where you could potentially win 20 times your money. And they added mixed martial arts. So if you were into that UFC 270 life, they added MMA, something I've been begging for, and they finally did it. But if haven't been paying attention to me talking about Underdog Fantasy and how great their tools are and how great it is, you could potentially win some money, this is your opportunity, man. They're still matching up to $100 within your deposit. But when you do sign up, please use the code PNP. Once again, go to underdogfantasy.com, sign up, and use the code PNP. It really helps out the channel. You get up to $100 match on your first deposit. You put in $100, they give you $100. You put in $50, they give you 50. So go ahead and check it out, man. You can win some pretty good money. I won a tournament down over there. I've hit the 20 times a few times over there. I hit it over the weekend, matter of fact. So you know what I'm saying? I turned $6 into $120. Can't beat that, right?
Nice.
Underdog Fantasy, baby.
Yeah, shout out to Underdog Fantasy, man. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to underdogfantasy.com and you can sign up. And all we ask, you ain't got to do nothing. You ain't even got to deposit nothing, bro. Just go in there, sign up, bro, and it helps out the channel tremendously. Y'all have no idea. So just go over there, sign up, and if you do deposit, hell, you get $100 match. So go ahead, go over there, sign up, man. It helps us out tremendously. It's a great partner. Underdog Fantasy is a great partner in PNP. We appreciate the support from them, and we appreciate the support from y'all. So super dope. All right.
Make sure when you sign up, use PNP as the code when you sign up.
Yep. PNP. Use that code PNP. Here, just a reminder at the bottom of the screen. Y'all can check that, scroll and join. Real quick, I gotta say, hey, did everybody get their popcorn? Appreciate for everybody.
Let me tell you something.
Yo.
Let me tell you something. Let me talk about this popcorn real quick. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Like I was planning. Why are y'all laughing, man?
That shit is good, bro. That popcorn is good as hell.
I was planning on buying my popcorn at the gun so I could get the ones I wanted because I wanted the peanut butter chocolate joint. And damn it, man, I forgot, and I'm so mad at myself. My wife bought a 6-pack, so we actually have some flavors. I had the In Queso Fire. Let me tell you something, bro.
Fam, that In Queso Fire is that In Queso Fire is off the chain, bro. It's so good, man. So I'm trying to tell y'all, and we're talking about the popcorn fundraiser that we did for our fraternity. We did that, man. Raised a whole lot of money. We appreciate y'all support. But I told y'all that popcorn is off. It's really good. Like I'm telling y'all, I'm not exaggerating. That In Queso Fire is so good. Like if you like spicy and it's seasoned, it's got like garlic, onion. Yo, it's so good, bro. It's so good. Anyway, I digress. My fault. Good look on that.
We need to do another fundraiser, bro. I was like, maybe I should just buy expeditiously.
It's good. All right, so Dave, we got to talk about Harbaugh to Michigan. I mean, Matt Rhule. All the buzz is that hey, if this Michigan job opens, Matt Rhule is interested. They're going to hit Matt Rhule up, and he's interested in the position. Dave, what are your thoughts on this, bro?
They should fire him now. Let's just fire him now. If he's out here looking for other jobs, bro, what are we doing? Like I'm just being real about it. Now, granted, I'm not going to compare this to Bobby Petrino. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to compare this to Bobby Petrino. Because Bobby Petrino, when he signed to Atlanta, thought he was going to work with Vic. Thought he was going to get the coach, Michael Vick. That was an incentive for him to go to the Falcons, right? And then the dog scandal happened. The dog situation happened. And then Vic was gone. I don't blame him one bit getting the hell out of Atlanta at that point. Don't blame him one bit. Because that ain't what he signed up for. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what he signed up for. He got exactly what he signed up for. And he just hasn't been up to the task. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe, man. This is
I
a bunch of BS. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
When you got a guy that tells their team, I could go make money somewhere else, way more money if I go coach somewhere else, but I want to stay here with you. Oh, I do. Oh, I absolutely do.
Yeah, but if he said that, then why would he turn around and then just bounce?
It's about getting the right job, bro. And Michigan, like, all due respect to Baylor.
Yeah,
Michigan's a bigger job.
I agree with that. There's no question with that. And I think Michigan's probably, I'm trying to
one of the
go
top
back,
5 jobs
other than USC. Yeah, I think it's up there. But it's a lot of pressure too. It comes with that, man. Harbaugh, they was about to get Harbaugh out the paint last year, and then he made the playoff
because he couldn't beat Ohio State.
He couldn't beat Ohio State, but he got him. He beat him finally, and then got him to the playoffs. So maybe Harbaugh's like, man, F it, y'all wanted me up out of here, and so I might well just bounce now. But has anybody seen an official interview request for Jim Harbaugh? Because I have not seen it.
Well, you know how this works, Rashad.
No, in the NFL, I'm talking about NFL
No,
official
but you know
interview
how this
request.
it hasn't
No,
happened
I don't know
yet.
how it works. I don't. What do you mean?
But they gotta. I mean, the teams gotta They gotta do their ducks in a row. They gotta get through the Rooney Rule. They gotta get through all this other shit before they go bring in Harbaugh. And Harbaugh's going to be particular about which teams he's willing to go to. He's not going to go to a team where he's got to be a full-fledged rebuild. He's going to go to a team that's going to give him the keys. And there ain't too many teams that are willing to do that. I mean, and one is definitely the Raiders, right? They fired the GM. It looks like, they're keeping the interim head coach for now just in case they can't get Harbaugh. Because I honestly think unless you get Harbaugh, you kind of got to let my man Bisaccia do it. Give this opportunity to be the full-time head coach, in my opinion. But I think they got to get through the wickets of the Rooney Rule first, man. They got to be disingenuous there. They got to be disingenuous there first, and then they can get Harbaugh in. Like you shouldn't do it now because then it looks bad. So you gotta get the black person. Make sure you make it a legitimate,
make it believable.
Candidate. Yeah, make it somewhat believable. You know what I'm saying? Don't be calling Deuce Staley or some shit, or don't call Hines Ward because that's what Houston did. They grabbed Hines Ward from I don't know damn where to come in to be for a head coaching interview. So. Just make it believable and then go from there.
Fair enough. I mean, that's fair enough. So what? So okay. So let's talk this out. So you think that Harbaugh is going to get an NFL job? Like, are you 100% sure you think he's going to get one?
I think he will. If he wants it, he will.
So if he ends up leaving, right? And on a percentage scale, 0 to 100%, what's the chance you think Matt Rhule takes that Michigan job?
95%.
Shit.
If they offer it to him,
all right,
95%, bro.
I mean, if I were him, I would absolutely take it. If I were him, if I'm Matt Rhule, college is where I belong, bro. Obviously, it ain't working here. I'm out of here. I'm on the first thing smoking. If I get that Michigan job, I'm out, bro. I'm out,
bro. It's the little things, man. Like it's like when you fire Joe Brady. Besides the fact that he wasn't doing well, he was a threat to your job, right? He was a legitimate threat to your job. If they ever decided to remove him, Joe Brady would be the interim coach or potentially the full-time head coach. So you get rid of him. You don't have anybody else on that dang on. You don't have anybody else that could come in to be a head coach. And we'll get into that when we talk about McAdoo.
Mm-hmm.
He's next, right? So if you make the decision to move on, the Panthers have an interim head coach that's actually been a head coach in the NFL. Not a good one, but a head coach.
That's already a effing mess if that happens, bro. All right, so Noli with another super chat says Rhule already has one foot out the door. Hey, man, y'all, this is a good point too.
That is true.
This is a great point. They definitely hired their folk. That's a great
They don't
point.
always do that, by the way. It just it's looking like that right now. They don't always do that.
They just pick up Desmond Howard, man. Let Desmond Howard run the show, bro.
They could do that.
Desmond Howard and Juwan Howard. That'd be crazy.
That'd be wild.
Be super dope. Anyway, but yeah, if I'm Matt Rhule, I'm taking that joint because I can't get it done. Here, so I'm a college coach.
I'd love to answer this question. If he doesn't get a gig this year, he'll never get it.
Yeah, it's too many jobs open, bro. Yeah, it's too many jobs open. If he don't get one this year,
there's 8 jobs open right now. If he don't get it this year, he never getting it. But I think he's finally going to break through this year. Really?
No.
I'm
I'm with you. I agree with what you're saying. That if he doesn't get one this year, then he's not gonna. Yeah. He's not gonna get it. That's what I'm saying. I think he should get one this year.
It would be wild. And you know what? Have you been hearing rumors of what's going on with the Broncos, man?
No, I haven't.
About the ownership?
About the Broncos. No, I haven't.
So the team's for sale, and Robert Smith is putting a bid in to buy the team. He will be the first black owner in the NFL. So that would be interesting. He'll definitely get the job done. But Denver's interested for Bieniemy too because he's like a legend in Colorado.
He is, yeah. He's done some work.
You know what I'm saying? So from
that
standpoint,
Colorado.
Mm-hmm. And he played there.
It's true. Yeah, he played and coached there too. Yep. Yeah, all right. So go ahead, Dave.
No, that's it.
All right. So let's move on. Dave. Ben McAdoo. It's been announced, Dave. It is official, or official, depending on your accent. What's your thoughts, Dave? It is what it is. Ben McAdoo's that guy. What's your thoughts, man? We didn't get to talk. We haven't had a chance to talk about this.
I should run the tape from last week when I said when we were going over the offensive coordinator possibilities, and I think I said something to the effect of, "I'm not a fan of it, but this is probably the pick."
Yeah, it makes. I mean, it makes too much sense. It makes too much sense, man. Like, and again, I've said this all over Twitter that given the choices that we had available to us, this is probably the best choice out there, bro. Like, he was the best choice.
All right. I gotta respond to something, and then we'll get back to Mr. McAdoo. Bro, if he had legal issues, then why is he offensive coordinator for a Super Bowl winning team and a team that's been
why you address that shit, man?
I'm just having fun, man.
Nah, man, no point. That's just dumb. Don't address that shit.
All right.
Here we go. So Rhule McAdoo combo is a blind leading the blind, bro.
I'm gonna try to look. I'm gonna try to have some level of positivity in this situation, and I'm
positive about it too, Dave. To be honest with you, but go ahead.
I think. Well, I'm positive, but I'm concerned, and I'll try to draw through my concerns. Right? He's not a terrible OC. Right? He has called plays, and it seems like he knows how to scout quarterbacks, which brings me to my concern, because that means
it's a wrap, Dave. No, it's a wrap.
Go
ahead and
man.
Say it. It's a wrap. Go ahead and say it.
I'm nervous that they're gonna draft one in the first round with this guy here.
I can guarantee you that I don't see us starting Sam Darnold with Ben. Ben McAdoo. If you look at his quarterback assessments and what he's done,
he's pretty good.
He's pretty good at this shit, bro. And
he's pretty good at this shit.
A lot of people keep saying, I'm concerned. But fam, have you checked his resume, dog? Like his resume, his quarterback resume is pretty strong, bro. The way he's ranked these quarterbacks,
I don't know if you have charts, but let me tell you something, bro.
I don't have the charts, but I can read it off.
He knocked that 2018 quarterback ranking down out the damn park.
Not only that, Dave. 2017, he wanted to trade. He tried to trade up for Mahomes too.
And they didn't get it. He
tried to trade up for Mahomes. They couldn't get it. And in 2018, this was his 2018 quarterback rankings. He had Josh Allen number 1, Lamar Jackson number 2, Sam Darnold number 3, Josh Rosen number 4, Mason Rudolph number 5, and Baker Mayfield number 6. So,
real talk.
I mean,
if you want to keep it a buck, I mean, it's pretty damn close, man. The cream of the crop was Allen and Lamar. Like, that was the cream of the crop. Everybody else is just paperweights after that. So, he had Darnold third at least. I mean, he had Darnold third. And he had comments about Darnold too. And they weren't as bad as what people were hyping up to be.
It wasn't as bad as
it wasn't that bad.
People are still trying to make it seem as if he hates Sam Darnold.
Nah,
that's not the case.
He just thought that the other two guys was gonna have more upside and more ready than what Darnold was. And he's right. And he was right about Darnold, by the way. Let's be clear.
Yeah, he was right. He was right about Darnold. Absolutely right. Absolutely right about Darnold. But Dave, real quick, I had to go back and call in some reinforcements in regards to Ben McAdoo, because sometimes it's one thing to do your research, and it's one thing for you to talk about it and think you know something about Ben McAdoo. So I had to call in reinforcements. I had to call in my man Diggy456, who is the Giants YouTuber that we have had on our show before, and I had him make a quick video and give his thoughts on Ben McAdoo. So let's go ahead and listen to that real quick. Shout out to Diggy, man. Let's go ahead. Let me make sure y'all can hear this. Can you hear this, Dave? Hold on.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Diggy546. Yep. Shout out to Panthers Nation and the Panthers Nation podcast. I wanted to give my quick take on the Panthers hiring Ben McAdoo. Ben McAdoo was our offensive coordinator starting in 2014, 2015. Then 2016, he was hired as the head coach. Taking it back to 2014 when he was first hired, Eli Manning was coming off of a 18 touchdown, 27 interception campaign. So obviously, even though a ton of those interceptions were tipped interceptions, Eli Manning was coming off of a horrible season. And Ben McAdoo's number one job was to help Eli Manning get back on track, coming from a high-powered, throw it down the field almost every play offense with Kevin Gilbride, who was our prior offensive coordinator, to a West Coast scheme. McAdoo is running a West Coast scheme. He comes from that McCarthy, Mike Holmgren tree where it's a West Coast scheme, sort of similar to the Andy Reid tree with Aaron Rodgers when he was his quarterback coach. Aaron Rodgers would start with his right foot behind his left, so he would be able to immediately catch the ball with his right foot behind his left foot and turn and throw the ball. It's a lot easier when your foot is already back. He made Eli do that same footwork. In his offense, there was a 2-step drop, 4-step drop, and I think a 6-step drop. Those were the steps for this offense because, again, your foot is already back, so you're not taking 3 steps back. You're taking 2 steps back. You're not taking 5 steps back. You're taking 4 steps back. So the footwork is different in the offense. It's about getting the ball out as quick as you possibly can, giving people the opportunity to run after they catch the ball. I think McAdoo could possibly bounce back and be that offensive coordinator that he was in 2014 and 2015, because if you look at Eli Manning's stats, he went from being 18 touchdowns, 27 interceptions to a 35 touchdown season and then a 30 touchdown season with only 14 interceptions to go along with those 30 plus touchdown seasons. Now, the only caveat with McAdoo as an offensive coordinator, well, there's two. The first one is that in 2014, we also got Odell Beckham. So we don't know how much of that is just Odell being historically great and how much of that is McAdoo. But you also need a coordinator that's going to make sure he uses his players the right way. The other thing that is the huge mark on McAdoo is when he became the head coach, we pretty much ran the exact same plays, either all slants. It was literally like.
Oh, my bad. I was trying to put that on the screen. My bad.
In the Panthers Nation podcast.
Dang it!
I wanted to give my quick take
see if I can fast
on the
forward.
Panthers.
My fault. I might not be able to restart it. Trying to put that up on the screen and messed it up. How about
window
this?
boxes, you can't be doing 2 things at once.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I can play it. Let me give me 1 second. My fault, y'all. Give me 1 second. I got too cute. I have it saved. Here we go.
What's going on, YouTube?
You can still hear that, right?
546. Shout out to Panthers Nation and the Panthers Nation podcast. Great. And how much of that is McAdoo. But you also need a coordinator that's going to make sure he uses his players the right way. The other thing that is the huge mark on McAdoo is when he became the head coach, we pretty much ran the exact same plays, either all slants. It was literally like Madden. We ran about 3 or 4 plays over and over and over and over again. Teams knew what we were doing, and the offense was horrible. The offense was very horrible, and I'm not sure if that's because McAdoo wanted to move on from Eli, because we all know he benched Eli, and that's ultimately what got him to be fired. I don't know if that was just him being spiteful to try to sabotage Eli's career, but that offense that he started running after Eli, after he became the head coach, was awful. And if he's running that in Carolina, you're not going to have much to look forward to. But overall, I think his philosophy, his offense is a quarterback-friendly offense. Quick, get the ball out of your hands easy. If you keep Sam Darnold, I think he'll be able to do well with that offense. It's not a lot of thinking. Get the ball out of your hands. Neutralize the pass rush. So overall, I think it's an interesting hire for the Panthers. And as a Giants fan, I hope McAdoo can succeed there. And hopefully he can succeed there because the Panthers have been going through it this past couple of years. So that's my take on Ben McAdoo. I think I'm about 65% chance that he'll succeed at offensive coordinator. 35%, I'm just not sure what he'll do when he gets there. But she'll be an interesting hire. And shout out to Panthers Nation podcast.
Shout out to my man Diggy. Came through in the clutch.
He did. Let me tell you something, man.
Good.
I never thought I'd be begging for 2014 Ben McAdoo, but getting 2014 Ben McAdoo makes the games more bearable because that offense wasn't that bad. I think I used Eli Manning in fantasy that year because he was more of a bounce back type of guy at the time because he had such a terrible season the year before and nobody was going to touch him with a 10-foot pole. So that created an opportunity to get a quarterback on a cheap that could execute. That worked out.
Yeah, I don't think any Panther fan is expecting Ben McAdoo to have our offense as a top 10 offense.
But I don't need that. But I don't need that as a Panthers fan, bro. Like, I don't need the man to be a top 10 offense. Like, I think everybody is being greedy. I don't need him to be top 10. I just need him to be top 20. I just don't need him to be bottom 5 or bottom 3. Like, if he's top 20 and if our defense actually improves, we'll be fine. Because that's what Matt Rhule wants to run, bro. Like, he wants to run a game manager type of situation. We're going to be more closer to what the 49ers do than what the Chiefs do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that, that the whole slant thing, I mean, that is, I feel like we should have ran, as Carolina Panthers fans, it would have been nice to see our offense run more slants because it gives your guys the opportunity to create yak. And I'm thinking, this is my thought process, is that I think that Matt Rhule and Ben McAdoo are going to be on the same page as far as what they want to do from a philosophy standpoint, right? Our offense under Matt Rhule never pushed the ball down the field, right? We never did that. We have, and this is weird. This is my biggest complaint, is that we have the guys to push the football down the field, but we don't do it. Like, you got DJ Moore, you got Robbie Anderson. So how do those guys integrate then with now Ben McAdoo? Because you have, like, now with Terrace Marshall, I feel like he's that guy that could take those slants and create some yak because he's a bigger receiver. Like, I don't know how he's gonna. It's just interesting, man. I don't know, bro. I mean, but at the end of the day, I think that this was the best that Matt Rhule is going to get. I mean, you could talk about hypotheticals. You could talk about, we should have went out and got such and such and such and such, but such and such and such and such ain't coming here. Like, people got to realize that. Like, dudes is not signing up to come to Carolina, bro.
The fan base got a false perception that anybody wants to come here. Like, last year, nobody wanted to come here. Matthew Stafford said no to us, bro. Like, Matthew Stafford.
A lot of people have said no to us, bro.
Matthew Stafford, who was like in freaking purgatory with Detroit, said, we'll go to I'd rather go to LA. I'd rather go to the Rams and take my chances with McVay than come here. Dog, you got to understand, when you have consecutive seasons like we've had, like consecutive 5-win seasons, folks are going to be willing to come. And I'm going to be honest, bro, I think part of the reason why Rhule isn't gone is because of the fact that his hands is all over this roster at this point. And there would be some level, like, we'll have better odds of having a bunch of players re-sign with us versus not if we fire him. And that's just the facts of life. And there's some guys that we definitely want to come back, like a Hassan Reddick. And there's some guys that we would very well lose if he doesn't if he wasn't the coach. Like Hassan Reddick, Gilmore, and probably some other guys too. So I
think Gilmore will come here no matter who the coach is.
You think so?
I don't think he's tired. He's not. No, fuck no. He's not a Matt Rhule guy.
No, he isn't. You're right.
Reddick, though, I think Reddick is here, and people have to understand that, because Dave is right. Like, people have to understand with free agency, that's another thing. Like, people have to choose to come here, right? You have to want to come to Carolina. You have to want, because people it's so effing irritating, bro, that people keep saying, oh, why don't you go out and sign a Laken Thompson or something like that, or we got to get a Brandon Scherf, or they just keep naming the top of the top guys, and I'm like, fam, these dudes ain't coming here. When you hit free agency, you have a choice.
Yeah, but the thing is too, anybody will come here, but you're gonna have to overpay for it. Like, I think if we throw extra money, if we would have thrown extra money at Brandon Scherf, right? Because you're gonna have to pay a premium. Like, we can get anybody we want if we're willing to pay for it, but that's not how the salary cap works. You can't overpay for every damn body.
Look at the folks that we ended up getting last year. Like when you talk about free agency, look at the guys that we got. I'm not trying to rag on them, but look at the guys that we picked up. Hassan Reddick was the best free agent pickup we had last year, right?
And Denzel Perryman, we traded him. And
hold on, Dave. But Hassan Reddick was the best pickup we got. And why did we pick him up? Because he has that connection with Matt Rhule. Look at the other guys that we picked up, right? Look at the other guys we picked up, like Morgan Fox. Who else we picked up? We picked up Perryman, but Perryman was also, before Perryman got with the Raiders, he's a rotational guy. Like he was never like, and he couldn't stay healthy. So he couldn't stay healthy. No, he couldn't stay healthy, and he was a rotational guy. He was not a premier guy. Let's just be 100%. So we were getting like these guys that are looking for a second chance and looking for a role to get started. Like these aren't premier. We're not picking up premier guys. It's just not happening. We're not going to pick up premier guys this coming up free agency. So everybody that keeps saying, yo, we need to pick up the best dudes, the best offensive linemen, we need to go get Orlando Brown. Fam, that's not happening, bro. It's not happening. And if it does, like Dave says, if it does happen, they're not coming for a discount. You're going to have to pay. So that's how it works with free agency. It's not like the draft.
Shout out to Ms. Rand for the super chat.
Yeah. So Ms. Rand says Matt Rhule has realized that he's a coach of boys, not men. I agree. Yeah. I agree.
If he realized it, he'll go to Michigan.
Just saying, bro. Just saying. This is facts, bro. Shout out to Off Grid, man. But yeah, man, it's just the truth. People don't want to hear the truth. People think this is Madden or something. You can just do whatever you want. And that's not how it works. That's not how the salary cap works. It's not how free agency works. People have to want to come here. They have to want to be able to join your culture. And people choose strategically go to places, and they will make consolations to go to play for certain people. Like trades, even with trades, some people get to even pick who they want to be traded to. Just depending on how much respect you have for your organization.
That's what happened with Stafford.
It's what happened with Stafford. What happened with Von Miller too. Von Miller going to LA. You think he just randomly? You think that the Denver Broncos just chose to pick him to send him to LA? Nah, get the opportunity to choose where they want to go. Some people have the clout to pick where they want to go as far as trade goes.
And Von Miller and Matt Stafford fit the bill because of what they did for their respective organizations.
Bingo. So you can't just say, oh yeah, I'm pick a random name. Oh, we better go sign him. That's not how free agency works. It's just not how it works. There's a reality component. So when you're looking at the free agent, and we'll do a video on this. We'll do a video on the free agent guys coming up and who's out there. And when you tier them out, we're gonna do tiers. We need to keep our eyes on the tier 2, tier 3 cats, not the tier 1 guys. Them dudes ain't coming here. They not coming here, bro.
Unless we're overpaying them.
And what's one thing we don't have a ton of, Dave? Cap space. So you ain't gonna be able to just pay a bunch of people, bro. Ain't how it works. That's not how it works. All right. So I'll digress. Anything on Ben McAdoo? We kind of got off topic, but Ben McAdoo, man,
fine. No, it's fine. I mean,
go ahead.
Top 20 offense is all I need, bro.
Shout out to Landon. He says you got to put themselves in their shoes. If you were a top free agent, would you come to this mess? Bingo.
No.
Bingo. You're not coming here. So just like the coaches, right? Everybody declining to come here. You don't see that. Like, is that not signaling off to people? Is that not raising the damn bat signal to y'all that everybody's declining to come here? Like, that should tell you, bro. Tepper had who was consulting David Tepper, bro? David Tepper needs somebody like me in the front office. Like I'll just be the fan liaison or something. Just give me a fancy title. But Tepper, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, fam. He got yes men around him, bro. David Tepper got a bunch of yes men around him telling him he's doing okay. He need people like me on the front office saying, you know what, Tep? Nah, this is not a good move. The fans hate this. This is dumb. Nobody's coming here because you got Matt Rhule, college coach, who ain't done shit. He ain't even won at the college level. You need
But the
people
thing
like
that
you
you
need
gotta
somebody like
understand,
me,
bro,
Dave.
it's all about his dollars, bro. If he's still making that coin, for him, he is doing okay. Did you see that video when they asked? This is another team, but they asked the Saints owner about Sean Payton, and man, that homegirl had no worries in the world about whether or not Sean Payton was coming back to coach the Saints. She's like, I don't know. Sean will let me know. We'll figure it out. Blah blah. Like she just not a care in the world. She's a billionaire.
Seeker,
She's the owner of the team.
Seeker, this is not true right here. There's been a couple coaches, Ed Dot, going back to last year, decline. There's plenty of people declined to come here, bro. Trust me.
Ed Dobbs
Trust me,
declined
bro.
to come here.
Dodds
Do this
declined. It's
GM
been a
job.
couple people, bro. It's been a couple GM folks. It's been a couple
You
people.
heard about this?
You heard about this? Andrew Barry. It's a lot of people that declined. They ain't coming here, bro.
Did you hear about the other one? The special teams coach that declined. There was a special teams coach declined to interview.
Yeah, the special teams coach declined. He said, "No, I'm not coming here." It's been a lot of people declined to come here, dog. It's been a lot of people decline. All right, so he's supposed to remember that that man tried to convince the Giants to draft Patrick Mahomes. We just talked about that. We just talked about that with McAdoo. We just talked about that.
And they ended up with Daniel Jones. Eeks. Worked out, huh?
So.
But all right, let's move on.
All right, so anyway, let's move on. Like I said, Tep, hire a dude like me, man. Somebody's gonna keep it a buck with you. You got a bunch of yes men next to you, bro. This ain't working. This ain't it. Anyway, Dave, here's a quick rundown of the cap space for 2022. Ignore the 2021 number. That is not entirely accurate as far as what we can roll over. I'll talk about that in 1 second. But there is a certain amount that we can roll over. So right now we are at $19 million, $19.2 million in cap space. Again, when we talk about the draft picks, you got to come in and subtract 10 million from that, right? So we had like 9 something million. And then there is a certain amount you can roll over. There's a certain amount you can roll over. So for the rollover space, we're gonna roll over 4.6 million. We're rolling over 4.6 million. Add that to the 19.2 million, and you'll be able to get 23.8 million going into next season. That's how much cap space we're gonna have. And that, again, you got to subtract the 10 million from that to get to give to the draft picks. Approximately 10 million. It's not exactly 10, but
that Packers number can't be right.
This is rollover. This is rollover from last year. This is rollover space left over from last year going into next year. So all the numbers on the left-hand side of your screen is everybody's amount that they're going to be able to roll over into next season. Right? So a lot of people, again, see, so yeah, it's not a lot, but we got to stop. So we got to stop it with that. We don't have a lot of cap space.
Oh, boy.
Yes, we don't right now. We don't. The reality is right now, no, we don't. If you went into this and you had a terrible GM and they only work with what was given, like, yeah, of course, it's not a good look. Not a good look. But
I know I just took my mic off, bro, because I'm gonna move. I'm moving.
No,
because my internet's acting up again.
Yeah, you turn your camera off, not your mic. But the reality is, if you have a good GM, you can figure this out. You can create more cap space. And this is something I'm gonna do again with the Sign Up Walk series. I kind of set it up for y'all. I said, fam, this is what we're doing. We're gonna sign these cats. I think we should let these cats walk. There are ways to free up more cap space. Contract restructures. You can maneuver so you can maneuver a little bit. There's only so much you can maneuver, but there is some ways to maneuver. All right. There are ways to free up some cap, getting rid of some of the dead weight. We can do that. So don't just look at this number and say, all right, this is all we got. Because that's not true. That's not true. We can create more cap space in it. In fact, I got us up to close to about 50 million in cap space. Because I'm a boss. I got us up to about 50 million. 40 subtract if you subtract the players, the draft picks. I do not personally, I do not see a franchise tag being placed. No, I don't. Franchise tag is only for you to. It's not intended for a player to play on it. You can use it for, if you have a ton of cap space, you can use the franchise tag to lock somebody in for a year. You got to remember the franchise tag is fully guaranteed. We don't have that amount. We can't play like that. So we need to go out here and extend players. You got to get in the negotiation on, fam. You got to get your negotiation on and get some of these players back, because you can't fool around with that franchise tag. That's my opinion. So yeah, man. So that's where I am with it, man. I got us up to about 50 million, and I will walk you through it. I'm gonna walk you through. I'll do a video where I walk you through each step that I did, each restructure that I did, each cut that I did, and I got us up to about 50 million. And then once yes, you can resend the tag. You can franchise tag and then resend it. It is possible. Yes. So I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do a separate video for it. But that's my next part in the sign and walk thing, is just to kind of set it up for y'all. But my next video is going to be, hey, this is how we start to free up space. And then not only that, I'm going to give you example contracts, because I don't just talk about it, right? I'm not just going to talk about, oh, let's just give Reddick a 4-year deal. No, I'm going to give you exact contracts on how to get it done, how we can kick money into future contract to future years. Yes, it's risky. But that's the name of the business. That's what happens. That's how you maneuver about the cap. That's how the Saints were able to get out of a $90 million cap hole last year, right? That's how they're able to do it, is because they are willing to accept and take risk. This is something we haven't seen with Marty Hurney. Marty Hurney was real safe. He was real safe. And that's what Panthers fans are used to seeing. Panthers fans are used to seeing guys like Marty Hurney and David Gettleman run the cap. That's what y'all used to seeing. I'm gonna give y'all realistic contract examples. Year 1, we paid this much. Year 2, we paid this much. Year 4, we paid this much. That's what I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna give y'all realistic contract breakdowns. Ain't nobody else giving y'all that, fam. Ain't nobody else giving y'all that. So, like I said, that's the next part. Make sure y'all stay tuned. That's something that's gonna happen. No other GM except for Scott Fitterer even touched voided years in Panther history. David Gettleman didn't do it. Hurney didn't do it. When I say safe, I mean, yes, Hurney gave out bad contracts. That's one thing, but I'm talking about accepting risk when it comes to the contract structure, like adding on voided years and doing stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. No, because Hurney gave out some terrible contracts. So
I don't know how much better this is, but we're gonna find out.
I don't know, man. You look fine to me. You're straight. So, Dave, we were just talking about the cap. And again, I was telling them how I can get us up to about $50 million in cap space by restructures and cuts. And I'll do a separate video on that and show what that does. Also show what the restructures do to future cap, because that's important too. When it comes to restructure, you're accepting risk. There's a certain level of risk you're accepting. You're creating larger cap hits in future years. That's what happens in a restructure. You're creating short-term cap relief, but you're accepting risk later. That's what that means. But trust me, when you get a quarterback, that's why I'm not solely against drafting a quarterback, because when you draft a quarterback, you have the quarterback on the rookie deal. So it makes sense. My concern with drafting a quarterback is having that quarterback be under a lame duck head coach. That's my concern more so than the roster building standpoint, if that makes sense. So yeah, man, just keep it in mind. Keep in mind, man. Again, I'm here to give y'all. I want to make y'all a better fan. That's the purpose of this channel, was to make y'all a better fan and give y'all a different perspective. Like some people like get up here and they'll talk, but they don't know shit about the cap, bro. I'm telling you, they don't know nothing about it. They don't know how it works. They don't know nothing, and they just say stuff just to say it, and so they think they sound smart, and that's not how it works. I'm telling you, I studied this stuff, bro. I've been doing research. I've talked to people. I've talked to dude Jason that runs Over the Cap. I've pinged him several questions. He answers my questions. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this stuff, man. I know what I'm talking about, bro. Dave, you good? Dave is frozen right now. I don't know where Dave is. Yes, this is a great question. Yes, it would be beneficial to extend DJ Moore now because you could lower that salary cap hit. So yes, it would be. No, I'm not dissing Dunk. I'm not dissing Dunk at all. Dunk actually know what he's talking about. Dunk know what he's talking about. That's not a sneak diss to Dunk at all. That's not a sneak diss to Dunk. Not at all. If I listen, I would tell somebody to their face, bro. If I was dissing anybody, you know what I'm saying. So like, I'm not sneaking. I'm just saying in general. In general, people get up here and they talk contracts and don't know what they're talking about. That's a general. I'm not dissing nobody. Not dissing nobody. Relax. He trying to get his. There you go.
Yo, man, my shit is a mess.
Yeah, it seemed like around 10 o'clock, bro. Your joint go to hell.
Yo, it's funny because now I'm starting to think that my company's starting to throttle me, and that's very, very possible. But nah, I mean, somebody's. I heard a back and forth. Like somebody think we got beef with people.
No, they're saying I was sneak dissing Dunk because I said people get up here and they don't know what they're talking about in regards to the cap. I ain't dissing him. No, he actually he knows what he's talking about. He just took a different route. He just took a different route.
He's trying to sell you a house.
No, Dunk took a different route, which is okay. You can have two different mindsets of thinking, two different ways of thinking. He took a different route. He addressed the problem a different way. That doesn't mean he don't know what he's talking about. That doesn't mean he don't know what he's talking about. He just took a different route.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, just keep that. That's what's coming up next. I'm gonna drop that the cap space video where I'm gonna free up a bunch of space, and then from that I'm gonna actually re-sign some of the guys we talked about. I'm gonna give you a Hassan Reddick restructure. I'm gonna give you not restructure, a Hassan Reddick extension. I'm gonna give you a Stephon Gilmore extension. I'm gonna give you examples on how it works and how it will look based on some of the contracts that we talked about. But there was a comment I wanted to. Yeah, so Jared says the problem is are the Panthers smart enough to create this cap room and send out guys? I haven't seen improve. I've seen improve in Fitterer. Fitterer knows what he's doing with contract structure and he's willing to take risks. I'm telling y'all, I follow these contracts. Scott Fitterer this was the first time I've seen the Panthers use the voided contracts, the voided years on deals. Was with Scott Fitterer. It's the first time I've seen them get creative with the Hassan Reddick's contract. They got creative with a couple other folks. So I've seen glimpses. Like this is gonna be year 2, so we're gonna have to follow. We're gonna have to follow through, and we're gonna have to see it more. But I have started to see it. Whoever's drawing up the contracts, and you're right. Technically, Suleiman is the contract guy. So technically, you're right. You're technically right. Technically, you're right. Samir should be the GM. Yeah, that's a thought. That's a thought. All right, Dave. So you got anything else?
Pickett. I think Pickett's the guy. Like if we might end up taking Pickett if it's up to McAdoo, bro.
That's one. I mean, yeah, that's something you can, based on his history, bro. He knows how to evaluate. Apparently, based on his rankings. Some of y'all don't want to believe it, but I believe it too. I'm starting to lean that way. But at the same time, I agree with this too. We need picks. You can't have them both. I don't think we're gonna be able to have them both. It's either picks or Pickett. Dave still froze up. His Wi-Fi is trash. Dave got that.
Yo, I know question
Dave got
in my
that Teddy
mind at
Riley,
this point
dog.
that Verizon is throttling me, bro.
Yo, Dave got
Verizon's
that Teddy
throttling
Riley,
me, man.
dog.
Did you say I had Teddy Bridgewater internet?
No, you got Teddy Riley.
Man,
You can't even hear me. I said Teddy Riley.
Oh, I heard Teddy. I just didn't know which one. Yeah, bro. They are definitely they're throttling the shot at me. I just did a test. I'm DSL numbers, bro. Like 270 kilobytes per second. Like it's bad.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. So, all right. So do we got anything else? Anything else we want to talk about? Y'all want to call? Y'all want to open up the phone lines? I can open the phone lines for a second. We ended kind of early.
Yeah, let's do the phone lines. Let's do some phone lines. Hopefully it'll be kind to me.
Man, hold on real quick. Shout out to the new Patreon members, man. Lewis, shout out to Lewis. He became an MVP Patreon member. Shout out to him. Appreciate that support. And then we also got another Patreon member, Abby. Shout out to Abby, man. Abby been rocking in the chat. I be seeing her in the chat. Abby became a Patreon member as well, man. Appreciate y'all support. Really do. It means a lot for real. It means a lot for real. Let's get us up to I think we're at 75 now. We'd like to get to 100 Patreon supporters, man. Again, you can join as low as $3, and there's different levels to our Patreon, different tiers. So come through, and you get access to our Discord. It's fun. They be in there going crazy. My bad. Hey, call back in if you just called. I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't ready. I'm ready now. Call back in if you just called in.
All right.
Call back in if you just called in. I ain't seen nobody call in yet. 2 people called in. Here we go. Oh, no. A bunch of people calling at the same time. You hear that, Dave?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press.
What up?
What's up?
What's going on, bro?
What are you doing?
I'm on a show. We can hear you in the background, fam. What's good?
I love Panthers, yo.
Say that again. All right, next caller, please. Next caller, come through, dog. Next caller. A lot of y'all
I might be glad that my internet is trash, but it sounds like it was some bullshit.
No, it wasn't bull. I just couldn't understand what he was saying.
Call from
Sunday.
Yo, what up?
What's going on, Rashad?
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How about you? What's going on, Dave?
Man, it's all good over here. What's
good? Good. Yeah, my question is, all right, so y'all see the 49ers offense, man, with Bob McAdoo. I don't know if he'll even implement that, but you see what they're doing with Debo. Do you think we can do that with DJ Moore? I know we can do it, but do you think Bob McAdoo would actually consider it or no?
Yeah, I think there needs to be an element. I don't think DJ is I don't think he can sustain the amount of punishment that Debo's taking. I don't know what's Debo weigh. But I don't think he can take as much punishment as Debo running through the tackles like that. But some of those jet sweeps and stuff like that, absolutely. But running between the tackles is a bit much for DJ, especially doing it a lot. I don't think he can do it consistently like Debo Samuel.
That's true, because the way Debo was getting smacked on Saturday, I don't think
it was cold too, though. It was cold too, so that does play a factor. I wouldn't be running a DJ between tackles like that. But they're about the same size. Size.
I was watching some of his Maryland highlights, and he was pretty much a running back.
He was
the whole time, honestly, when he ran the ball.
He was. Yeah, he was. When he was at Maryland, they were using him a lot as a running back. So yeah, you're right. I think that you can. I would sprinkle it in. Again, I would sprinkle it in. I would not use him as much as Debo is being utilized as a running back. Maybe like a couple plays, 2 or 3 plays per game, but not as much as Debo's touching it, bro.
That's true. I mean, I see people in the comments saying that Curtis was definitely that Debo role, but Curtis was hurt all last year, so it does take some effects on you.
Yeah, it does, and I think that it took us a while. It took us a while to get that figured out, the Curtis Samuel thing figured out. But Curtis was definitely good in that role and should have been utilized from jump, like off the rip. He should have been used in that role, especially at what he did at Ohio State. He should have definitely been in that role. They just did. They couldn't figure it out until it was damn contract year. So it is what it is.
For sure. And one more question here.
Sure.
So with Robbie playing or how he played, I don't know if it was due to like quarterback or just morale, but would you have wanted to keep Curtis over Robbie?
Oh man, but the Robbie does. I mean, Curtis stays hurt, but I was a huge fan of Curtis, fam. That might be some bias kicking in, but if it was me, man, I probably would have kept. Injuries aside, like if it was no injuries, like if Curtis Samuel was completely healthy, I would have kept Curtis. But it's bias. That's bias though, because I really like Curtis, man. I was a huge fan of Curtis Samuel. But again, you gotta account for those injuries. He was healthy his contract year, but then got paid and the injuries started hitting a little different. So.
Man, what's up with Panthers players, current or leaving, always getting hurt when they get paid, man?
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. You
right.
Speaking
of that, one more question. My bad. I ain't mean to take everybody's time.
No, you good. One more question. I gotta move on.
Got you. We got to put CMC in the slot this year, man. Like we can't afford for him to be put in the running back form and he get a hamstring hurt and now he out for 3. Like we got to put him in the slot or something and leave Chuba in the mirror, draft a power back. Like I see on all your Macs keep drafting Brian Robinson. I would love to draft Brian Robinson, man.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy, Brian. We need a real physical back that can take some punishment and run between the tackles. We don't have that back on our right. I think Chuba is okay, but he ain't the type I want a running back that's gonna get me a yard for sure.
It was CMC though. It was CMC for a little bit, but it looked like he bulked up too much, and that's what caused injury.
CMC he could do it, but then it adds up, right? And now we are where we are because of that. Mm-hmm. And so like I think CMC, you were right in your first comment that I do think CMC needs to move to the slot, but I'm hearing that he may not want to. I think he's the one pushing back on that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea, bro. But it would be nice to see him. It would be nice to see him.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. I love watching y'all every Monday and all y'all content, man.
All right, bro. Appreciate that support, man. Appreciate that.
No problem. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, Dave, you want to address any of that while we line up a couple more calls?
Yeah, I want to take one more phone call because I'm over here troubleshooting my dang on network and shit.
Call from.
So let's take this last one.
Benny. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh. What up?
Yo, what up?
What's good?
My name is Denny. I want to know if they bring back Cam, do you see them training Sam Darnold? And do you think Cam Newton will have 2018 season again? Similar to 2018?
So if they bring back Cam, will Sam Darnold get traded? First of all, nobody's going to trade for Sam Darnold. So Sam Darnold isn't going anywhere. Sam Darnold is going to stay on the roster, or he'll get cut. And I don't think he's going to get cut because we owe him so much money. So nobody's going to trade for Sam Darnold. He's not good enough to be traded for. But I do think that Cam could potentially come back. I think honestly it's about 50-50 right now. I don't know whether we're going to re-sign him or let him walk. I think we should bring Cam back, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, Sam Darnold isn't going anywhere.
Okay, man.
Yep, you good?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
All right, bro. All right, any more questions?
No.
All right, bro. Thanks. All right, any more questions? Dave, you good?
I think I'm good for now.
It's not. Cam said Noli says he's not playing for a program again. I hear you. I hear that. I hear that.
Call from
Noli.
Noli, what's good, man?
Good, finally.
I know it's tough getting through. The phone lines are ablaze.
Yeah, they were. I'm surprised. Great show as always. Yeah, my main thing is obviously I think we all feel dejected as can be, and then you guys brought up the points with Dave, especially the NFC and the quarterback situation. It just, I mean, it literally is wide open. And where's Dave Tepper? That's what I want to know. He needs to speak. I need answers, right? Like if we're gonna be a clown show, come out in that costume and answer to the media, because you could not avoid the cameras for 4 years. You was doing all this golf cart stuff. I mean, stuff Jared Richardson, especially, he didn't do many public interviews after his heart surgery, but he was all up dancing at training camp. You were doing interviews on the radio, going around to tailgates. You were dancing in the draft room. You were dancing at training camp, and now you're silent. And yes, this hire pretty much, makes it, it's pretty close to assured that Rhule will be back, but he needs to speak because this is acceptable. I feel like he's killing our culture slowly. Like we have 4 straight losing seasons, and granted 2 of those were with the back end of Ron Rivera, but we're heading towards our 5th losing season. Like this is uncharted territory. Say what you want about the John Fox era where we would make the playoffs, suck for 2 years, or go 500 make the playoffs. Like you're going to lose a lot of people. And people think that, the Carolina Panthers represent 2 states, 1 team. It is really not like that across the Carolinas. We have a long ways to go before we literally, because like I've lived, obviously a lot of you have, I've lived in Eastern North Carolina. I work in South Carolina. Outside of the Mecklenburg County area, yeah, you got Panther fans across North Carolina, but it's not as strong as it should be. And, we had a golden opportunity to build that up over the past decade or so, and I think Cam helped that, but we got a long ways to go, and we are not helping ourselves just putting out this trash product. And that's where I want to know, like, where is this man? Because it's uncharted territory.
Yeah, man, I agree. I've been on record saying, yo, where is he at? Where is he? When is he going to speak? And I think I heard somewhere or read somewhere that he wasn't going to speak until the offensive coordinator was hired. Now, I'm hoping we get some sort of press conference tomorrow or something for McAdoo, and then maybe Tepper is at that press conference, or maybe he gets. But I agree with you, bro. He has to speak for this, bro. He has to speak for this because he went out there, picked this dude up, or blocked him from going to the Jets, and said all this. He smells like me, looks like me, all this crap. And now we're sitting here back-to-back 5-win seasons with nobody wanting to come here. And now we just kind of rolling out a product for the sake of rolling out a product. And we have no direction. Like it's no direction. So it's tough. Like, and I agree with you. Like we have a lot of the Panthers are still a young franchise, right? So it's tough to convert those once Cowboys fans, once Steeler fans, once football team fans, once Atlanta fans. Like you have to work hard. And I think you were right. Like on 2015, we did a lot. There's we did a lot to help that out. There was a lot to kind of push that keep pounding Panther pride along. But now it seems like everything is slowly being undone from that. Like you got to continue to build on that stuff. We haven't been around long enough to where people are born into Pantherdom,
exactly.
Right? You have to really work to get there, and that's just kind of where we are, man. And it's unfortunate. And Tepper does have to say something. But again, I said it earlier. I think he's got a bunch of yes men around him, so I don't even think he feels it. Like I don't think he feels it. I don't think he understands what's going on. I truth be told, I think he's completely out of touch, bro. Go ahead, my friend.
See, I know you good. I think he's in tune. He's just either he's embarrassed or whatever. He has to answer. Why are you bringing back Matt Rhule for year 3? Like that, he has to answer that. And yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he technically doesn't have to, but like we're losing at a clip that's not even competitive. Like I don't have to tell y'all, but like this isn't even like last year. Getting outclassed in every facet. Like he has to get on the mic and explain. And he said it himself when he hired Matt Rhule. You know, I have nowhere to hide now. It's all on me. Answer the question. Why are you bringing him back? Well, I don't know what. Yeah.
I think he already kind of answered the whole why he bringing him back before he even got to this point. He kind of prepared for this, right? Rome wasn't built in a day, and he talked about this whole year 3 thing with Matt Rhule. So I think year 3 is going to be it. I think the plan was always for him to be around for 3 years, and I don't think he was going to waver from that. Just because number one, that's his guy, right? He handpicked the dude, flew out there and got him. So he's going to give him every opportunity to fail. So I think the whole year 3 thing was already written before like as soon as he inked the contract, year 3 was locked in. Like he was always going to be around.
But yeah, it's
like he's
not looking forward to it.
Yeah, but I also agree with you. He does need to come out and say it. Like put your come out here if you felt that you feel that comfortable about it. Come out here and say it. Stamp it. Like the fans want to know.
Exactly.
So I agree with you. I agree with you both ways.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say is you just got to be careful. Like I don't think he truly understands. Like as a fan base, like we have never had. I mean, Dave can correct me. I don't remember 5 straight losing seasons ever.
No, we never had 4.
Mediocre.
We never had 4. We already in uncharted territory.
So you have to come out and say something. And again, I know people are going to show up, but like if he doesn't say anything, I think as fans, you know, we got the march on mint, but we have to speak with our pocketbooks because that's what these billionaires respond to. It needs to be because I don't know. It was the last home game of the year. I remember. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but Joe Person, a lot of people were like, I've never seen downtown Charlotte this empty on a Panthers game day. Like people were talking about how it was a ghost town. It needs to be like that for every home game next year.
Yeah, it's
like
tough.
We have to.
It's tough. It's tough to do that. Like when you talk about pocketbooks and all that stuff, it's tough because NFL is it's all about profit sharing, right? So it's tough to like really hit an owner's pocket because NFL is based on profit sharing. Like it doesn't really work like
true.
that. It doesn't. You can't really do that. So it really doesn't. In theory, it sounds right. It sounds nice. Oh yeah, I'm selling my tickets to other team. I'm doing blah blah blah. But if you're trying to affect the bottom line, it's damn near impossible.
I mean, yeah, they're still gonna make the money at the end of the day. But my thing is like, I think. You know, I don't think Tepper likes it when he sees opposing fans taking over our stadium and just seeing it being dead. So that's what I'm. And again, it's not me hoping it. If the product continues to be like this, you're going to see that.
Facts.
And you and I, we were at that. What was it? That Falcons game. I mean, it was like I've never felt the stadium with that kind of energy. So I guess we'll see. But shout out to you with all those sign or walk videos. That was a lot.
Yeah, I got a couple more to do, and then I'll do my next one. But. Yeah, man. Shout out! I got to do one for Marquise Haynes, man. Shout out to Marquise Haynes. This dude went on a following spree today, man. He followed mad people on Twitter.
Real?
Yeah, he's following mad people. He followed myself. I know my man Tony got to follow. I know Panthers on tap got to follow. He was following mad people. So
he's gonna be a great Buffalo Bill.
So. yeah, because that's probably where he's gonna go.
All right, appreciate it, man. As always.
Sounds good. Dave, what you doing over there, man?
Yo, my internet, I'm gonna be doing a lot of troubleshooting after this show. I know that. I'm plugged in directly, and it's still like.
So Joe says the Patriots game was the worst. Now I think the worst game was the Eagles game, fam. That game was a pure takeover. I was at that game. I was at the no, I wasn't at the Patriots game. I missed that one. One more call and that's a wrap. One more call.
Off grid.
Off grid, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, Rashad? How are you?
Man, I'm hanging in there, dog.
I hear you. What do you think about some of these free agent tight ends coming in? The free agency.
Let me see who's available because I'm not all sure who's available off the top of my head, but I can check.
I like what's his name, Mike Gaminsky, or what's his name? I think if we brought him in, Trimble, we need a team in the middle of the field. Goes across the middle field, make good catches and stuff.
I agree. I think we do need a real pass catching type tight end, but I also don't know that we're gonna spend big money on one either. I think because let me just check. I'm pulling it up now. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Gesicki. So Gesicki is the top tight end available. According to PFF, they're saying that he might get $13.75 million a year on average. That's a bit rich. Dalton Schultz is another one. He's projected to get $11.25 million per year. Njoku is out there. So Gerald Everett's out there as well. Evan Ingram, it might be one to take a look at. Reclamation project there. Mo Ali Cox is another one that's out there. Now that's somebody I'd be ready to take a look at. He's a bit on the lower end. I would take a look at Mo Ali Cox, and I also take a look at OJ Howard. OJ Howard is also out there. Those are some lower end guys I would take a look at.
Yeah, definitely, because you were breaking down some stuff on so many videos, and I was like, we were looking at the draft. The draft's got a lot of decent tight ends in it, but I wasn't sure how they wanted to go about it.
Yeah, I think the draft would be the best way to go about it, but I think you also need to set up your draft with free agency, right? You need to kind of plug as many holes as you can in free agency, and then work your way back through the draft. Like I don't think you should just go into the draft with a ton of holes. So I think I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, have you checked out what's his name, Likely from Coastal Carolina, the tight end?
I have not. I'll check him out though.
Yeah. He's pretty nice, man. He's pretty nice.
Yeah, I gotta take a look at that.
Yeah, man, because I know you'd be doing a lot of videos breaking down everything, and I appreciate what you're doing too.
Thank you.
I watch your film like crazy too, man. But keep doing the salary cap videos too. Make people need to understand how this works, because we don't have a lot of money,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let these other callers in. But I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, sounds good, man. Thanks. All right, Dave. I think I'm about to call it. I think that's the last call I'm gonna take. It's getting a lot. It's a lot of people called in.
Yeah, let's
go ahead. You good?
That'll do it. I'm good, man. Like my internet is so trash, yo.
Dave, you got to call a Verizon technician, bro, or something. You over there on that damn AOL?
Yo, I think they're throttling. I'm confident that they're throttling me. I'm pretty sure of it. I'll make some phone calls. I know they're throttling me. It's not a doubt in my mind. Did you know you can get it's a $25,000 fine when these internet companies throttle you?
Well, go ahead and see if you can get 25 racks for proving it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. I'm gonna do some more troubleshooting tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, so Mr. J6, that's who he was talking about on the phone. This Coastal Carolina kid, Isaiah Likely. I gotta check him out. I'll probably do a draft video on him, just because everybody keeps saying it. So I'll check that out. But all right. Anything else before we get up out of here, man?
Nah, that's it. What we need to do, and I will say this: you got the Senior Bowl this week, ain't you? Are you leaving? Is that next week?
Yep, I'm scheduled to. It's next week, starting on Monday. I'm supposed to leave on Sunday.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll talk that through.
Yep.
Now everything's working fine. All right, so let's close out. So I can.
All right, so hey, let me rock this. I'm gonna rock this intro one time. So a lot of y'all missed it. So let me rock this intro one last time, so y'all know the vibes. So y'all know what kind of vibes we on. We got a new intro. Shout out to Cuddy Cut Right. Let me run this thing real quick, and then we get up out of here.
Panther Nation podcast. Let's go. Yeah. Cut right. And I would like to introduce One of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing. Cause this is what we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them one that talk back. Talking Panthers, but we discussing it all. On and on the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the number one podcast. Competition is non-existent. You need to stop that. It's an honor to be a Panther fan. At Bank of America, that is what we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we go with Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we poppin'. Let's go.
Yeah, man, that joint is tough, bro. I watched this shit like at least 17 times. Shout out to Cuddy Cutright for lacing the track for your boys. We're gonna get up out of here, Dave. You good over there? No, he's frozen. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, get in the comments and all that good stuff. And man, hey, just consider supporting us on Patreon as well. We're trying to get to 100 Patreon supporters. That would be super dope if we can get that. I think we're at 75 right now. So consider you can join in as low as $3 a month. Instead of hitting those super chats, consider joining our Patreon. That support is super dope. That being said, man, we up out of here. Peace.